Faith Kipyegon walks onto the same track where she shocked the world 1 year ago. She holds 2 world records. She has beaten every rival who ever lined up against her. Now she returns to Hayward Field for a race this meet has not held in decades. The clock is waiting. Her rivals are waiting. So is history. Can she really make history again? Stay with me, because what happens at Hayward Field this weekend could change the record books forever. The Prefontaine Classic is back in Eugene, Oregon, and this year is different. For the first time ever, the meet runs across 2 full days, July 3rd and 4th. It is the 51st edition of this famous event and the 9th stop on the Wanda Diamond League season. But one race stands above everything else on the schedule: the Women's Mile. Here is the part that should stop you in your tracks. The Women's Mile has not been run at the Prefontaine Classic since 1993. That is more than 3 decades of waiting. And when meet organizers finally brought it back, they gave it to one woman. Fastest miler the world has ever seen, Faith Kipyegon. If you follow track and field, you know her name. If you don't, let me show you why she might be the greatest middle-distance runner who ever lived. Kipyegon is a 3-time Olympic champion in the 1500 meters. No woman had ever done that before her. She is also a 5-time world champion. She won her 5th global title at the World Championships in Tokyo last year. Think about that record for a second. 8 global titles at the highest level of the sport. When the biggest races come around, she simply does not lose. But titles are only half the story. The other half is speed. Pure, terrifying speed. Kipyegon owns the world record in the mile. She ran 4 minutes and 7.64 seconds in Monaco back in 2023. No woman in history has ever run the mile faster. Remember that number, 4:7.64. It matters for what comes next, because she also owns the world record in the 1500 meters. And here is where this story gets personal. She set that record 3 minutes and 48.68 seconds at this exact meet, on this exact track, just 1 year ago. Hayward Field is where she made history last summer. Now she is coming back to the scene of the crime. So ask yourself this: if she broke a world record here last year, what is stopping her from doing it again? Before we answer that, you need to hear about the race that almost changed running forever. Last June, Kipyegon tried something no woman had ever attempted. She tried to run a mile in under 4 minutes. The event was called Breaking 4. It was a special race set up just for her, with pacers and perfect conditions. The whole running world stopped to watch. Could a woman finally break the 4-minute barrier? She ran 4 minutes and 6.42 seconds. Let that sink in. She ran faster than her own world record. She ran faster than any woman in history. But because of the special setup, the time did not count as an official record, and she fell short of the 4-minute dream by just 6.5 seconds. Most athletes would be crushed by that. Kipyegon did the opposite. She went to Tokyo weeks later and won her 5th world title. Then she opened her 2026 season in February by winning a 10-kilometer road race in Monaco. She is 32 years old, and she is not slowing down. If anything, she looks hungrier than ever, which brings us back to Saturday. Because this time, she is not running alone against a clock. This time, she has company. And this is where the race gets dangerous. Meet organizers did not just bring back the mile. They loaded it with the most stacked field this event may have ever seen. Every single 1500-meter medalist from the last World Championships and the last Olympics is in this race. Every one of them. On the same start line. At the same time. Let me introduce you to the women trying to beat Faith Kipyegon. First, Jess Hull of Australia. Here is a fact that might surprise you. Hull, not Kipyegon, is currently ranked number 1 in the world. Kipyegon sits at number 2. Hull took silver behind Kipyegon at the Paris Olympics, and she stood on the podium with her again at the Tokyo World Championships. She has chased Kipyegon for years. Now she gets her shot on the fastest track in America. Then there is Georgia Hunter-Bell of Great Britain, ranked number 3 in the world. She won Olympic bronze in Paris, finishing right behind Kipyegon and Hull. She later added a world silver medal in the 800 meters. That means she has something most milers do not: a killer finishing kick. If this race comes down to the last 100 meters, Hunter-Bell is the one Kipyegon should fear most. Dorcus Ewoi is in the field too. She stood on that Tokyo podium alongside Kipyegon and Hull. She is Kenyan, just like Kipyegon, and she knows exactly how the champion races. Add Nikki Hiltz of the United States, ranked 4th in the world and running in front of a home crowd on the 4th of July. Then add Birke Haylom of Ethiopia, ranked 5th, one of the most exciting young talents in the sport. Count them up. The top 5 ranked milers on the planet, all in one race. When was the last time you saw that outside a championship final? Still with me? Good. Because now you need to understand why this exact weekend could produce something special. This is not a championship year for the outdoor season's biggest global title. That sounds like bad news, but it is actually the opposite. In championship races, athletes run slow and tactical. They save everything for the final sprint. But at the Prefontaine Classic, there are no medals to protect. The mile counts as a Diamond League discipline event, which means every runner earns points toward the end of season championship and races for larger cash prizes. There is only the clock, the money, and the points. Nobody has a reason to hold back. Experts are already saying this could be the fastest women's mile of the entire season. And if the pace is aggressive from the gun, Kipyegon's world record of 4:07.64 is under real threat. Remember, she has already proven she can run faster. That 4:06.42 from breaking 4 did not count. Saturday's race does. Every second here is record legal. So, the question is not whether Kipyegon can break her own world record. The question is whether this field will push her hard enough to do it. And there is one more layer to this story that most fans are missing. Every athlete in this race is building towards something bigger. The USATF Outdoor Championships take place July 23rd through 26th in New York City. Then comes the brand new World Athletics Ultimate Championship in Budapest, September 11th through 13th. Whoever wins at Hayward Field sends a message to the entire sport. Whoever loses spends the rest of the summer chasing. For Kipyegon, the stakes cut even deeper. She has already won everything a runner can win. At this point, she is not racing her rivals. She is racing history itself. Every time she steps on a track, she has a chance to do something no human being has ever done, and Hayward Field has been her lucky stage before. 1 year ago, on this same oval, she crossed the line in 3:48.68 and rewrote the 1,500-meter record book. The crowd in Eugene watched her make history in person. Now that same crowd fills the stands again on Independence Day, waiting to see if lightning strikes twice. Remember what I told you at the start. This race has not been part of the Prefontaine Classic since 1993. The meet waited 33 years to bring the women's mile back. It did not wait for just any field. It waited for the fastest woman in history, the world #1 who wants her crown, and every medalist from the last 2 global championships.